EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live first-round coverage of the Tiburon Championship. Today, we're here at Wolf Creek Golf Club in Mesquite, Nevada. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports, set to bring you all the action out on the course. And Frank, what can you tell us about Wolf Creek?
It's a mesmerizing layout. You can see from above, Rich, in amongst all these sort of canyon areas and boulders and that. I've never really seen a golf course like this. It's like Disneyland for the golfers. It's phenomenal, and each hole has a totally different look. It's hard to imagine you can build a golf course in an area like this.
Well, where this ball's going, there's no fairway there, only rough.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. Can't hide the flagstick from that man. Just a couple of feet. Needs a few more of those. That was a good birdie.
Yeah, this time that one gets him in the top 10.
Plenty going on here today. Let's see what's happening at the 14th. As we catch up with today's featured golfer, just been holding steady all day long, Frank.
A solid round of golf. 4 of these will certainly bode well come the end of the week.
And it looks like it's in the rough there, Frank.
It might not be as bad as it looks.
This requires a lot of speed through the ball. Headed for the bunker. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot, maybe get away here with par.
Great professionals, Frank, they don't fear the green side bunker shot, do they?
No, because you can be as aggressive or as conservative as you want. You actually have far more options. And you don't have to hit the ball first.
Okay, good shot on the dance floor. And getting ready for the putt. Good stroke right there. That's a par and stays at 1 under. Now to the short par 3 15th hole here at Wolf Creek. What is this, Frank? Just a wedge or a 9-iron?
That's all, Rich, but it's very tempting to get greedy here. And well, you pay the price, obviously, if you miss the green on the left down in those bunkers, because they're a good 6-7 feet below the level of the green. But with a wedge or a 9-iron, who doesn't go aiming at the flag?
That was a solid strike and a good result. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Right off the edge. Wow.
That hurts.
A makeable putt right here. He is currently sitting at 1 under par. That's 1 under on the day. Now to the 16th hole as we get set for the finishing stretch. And Frank, what's the best way to play this relatively short par 4?
Somehow you've got to straighten the hole up in your mind's eye, Rich. Just look all the way across that canyon and look like the hole was built straight, because really that's the way it should be played. If you start looking left and turning it into a dog leg, then all of a sudden bad things can happen. So look straight at the green. That's your line. Just try and bisect those 2 fairway bunkers.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Birdie try up next. And this will be a 5-foot putt here. Frank, all of a sudden, another player to factor in on this leaderboard.
Yeah, and things are starting to tighten up right now. You'll see where the next move comes from.
Frank, this is really a cool closing stretch here at Wolf Creek. Short par 3 15th, the short 4 at the 16th, and now the par 5 17th. You can make up some ground in a hurry as you come down the finishing stretch.
You certainly can. A good drive short of the little stream creek that runs across there, and this is doable as a two-shotter. You find the bunkers or trouble off the tee, then obviously you're forced to lay up, leaving that third shot across the water. But really a fun hole if you want to try and take that second shot on.
Second from an excellent lie.
Should be safely on deck.
Not too bad, about 25 feet away. Getting set now over the putt. Pretty good effort right there.
Now it's at sneaky distance.
Oh, I thought he had that. Just a little too much juice on that birdie putt, Frank.
It was bold, very bold.
Frank, a solid par right there, maintains his position. Now the closing hole here at Wolf Creek. Frank, what's ahead of us?
You could try and drive at this green, but there's too much trouble really, Rich. Even though this hole's just over 300 yards, it's very ambitious to try and drive it across that water. Some might try. Most people try and hit a tee shot 240, 250 yard mark, and of course you do the maths, you're only going to have 60 or 70 yards in, and well, they want you to finish.
Good news is, was able to retrieve the golf ball.
Yeah, on dry land, and can he carry it this time though?
Third shot now after the last one found the deep blue.
Yeah, you can still minimize the damage here. It's only one bad shot that you got punished for.
Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one. You can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable. That never deviated offline.
And he's putting for par now. Holding steady now at 2 under par. Second round coverage coming your way tomorrow. For our entire crew, I'm Rich Lerner alongside Frank Navalo. So long for now. EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today it's live second-round coverage of the Tiburon Championship. Well, take a look at this site, Wolf Creek Golf Club. It is for real. Frank, I've never seen anything quite like this as we get set to call it for EA Sports. I'm Rich Lerner behind the mic, and we welcome you to this site that opened up back in 2000. It's a par of 72 with some elevated tees. Frank, what does the player need to look out for here at Wolf Creek?
Well, everything. Try and keep your eyes on the fairways, though. That's the only green thing apart on this magnificent venue. It's hard to imagine you can play golf in this sort of area, but it's so well defined. Obviously, anything green is golf course, and left or right of that, you're going to find yourself in some problems. But really trying to judge all the elevation changes. Ball's going to fly a little bit further in the thin air, but it's amazing on the eye.
Frank, this is where the mental game really comes into play. You've hit a second consecutive shot into the rough.
This could pound very, very quickly, so now's a chance to just take a little breath, take a breather, try to make sure this shot certainly gets out.
A sensational shot right there, Frank.
Oh, you start beating your chest after a shot like that. That's the best we've seen into this hole to date.
Just a tap in to finish the hole. He'll take par and move on. Frank, a very short par 4 here at the 7th, but not one you're going to try to hit off the tee?
No, unless you can fly the ball sort of 300 yards on the nose and stop it within sort of 5 or 6 yards, it's really too risky. This green is not very deep, just sort of 10 or 15 yards in depth. It's just a layup hole, but layup hole it simply doesn't mean grab a club and hit it down the fairway. The best way to play it is to try and hit the ball right on the number. And what I mean by number, I mean the full shot yardage for your second shot, even if that only is a sand iron.
Nothing to argue about there, right in the fairway. Frank, as we get set for this approach, what does our featured player need to do to regain some of that early round magic?
First, a bit of advice, really. Take a deep breath. Make sure all those bad thoughts get out of your mind. After that hot start, we all know they can play better than this, but they need to relax first of all and then let their game take over again.
So a tester from 4 feet. Watches that one go in as well to get to -3 for the championship. Frank, the 8th here at Wolf Creek in Mesquite, Nevada is really the signature par 3, isn't it?
I'd go so far, Rich, to say this is a great par 3. Doesn't matter where it was played. The stream that sort of comes all the way down there and surrounds the left side of the green makes this hole really daunting. Logic would say if you're going to miss this green, obviously you'd miss it to the right, but it's just a beautiful hole. And then you put the fact that the canyon frames the whole hole itself. It's beautiful.
That one was running so hot. Second shot coming out of the rough here. And he's made the green. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Wow, I thought he made that. Come on, you have to make that, don't you? Drop shot here at the 8th. Not going so well for him. He has this for bogey. Oh, man.
Just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts.
Oh, good solid stroke there. No sign of nerves on that.
Finishing up this front side here at the par 4 9th, 390 yards. And what are we looking at, Frank?
Well, it looks relatively straightforward, but it's anything other than that. Decision time again. Do you lay it up into that wide area of the fairway? If you're a longer hitter and you are out here to have a little bit of fun, then maybe you want to take the head cover off because you get a little bit of an advantage if you can drive it over that last bunker on that right side, or at least take that out of play, because you're only going to have a short pitch in here.
Little uphill to this green, Frank.
Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Really good distance control there, playing well to his strengths. Par yesterday, now for birdie. Oh, that hurts. Thought he had it. And he makes it for par. Beginning the back nine here at Wolf Creek Golf Club in Mesquite, Nevada. Rich Lerner for EA Sports with my partner Frank Nobilo. Frank, tell us about the 10th hole.
Got to be careful here, Rich. That desert ridge on that right side, it sort of makes that fairway look smaller than exactly what it is. This fairway is about the same width as all the others, so just convince yourself that. Good drive down here is going to give you a second shot, a little bit uphill, and to a green that sort of slopes away on about a 45-degree angle. Now, this is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough.
Well, Mr. Ball does not meet Mr. Fairway. It's off, 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 rough.
coming out of the rough and right up next to the hole. Shouldn't be a problem here.
Oh, that was nasty.
That's an outrage right there. I mean, if there's a high commission of golfdom, we need to consult them right now because it's just simply not fair, Frank. It's not.
I think the people above are frowning on the people below.
That concludes the second round here at this amazing golf course. And Frank, I'm really looking forward to tomorrow.
I certainly am as well. The players have gotten off to a very good start, and they must have a good feel for the course right now and know what they have to do in order to win.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live third-round coverage of the Tiburon Championship. Frank, it's just amazing what can be done today. Where you can build golf courses on the moon? I mean, that's what this looks like here at Wolf Creek in Mesquite, Nevada.
And obviously, it's an experience, too, that has to be played before you can thoroughly enjoy it. Because you just wouldn't think this is possible. If someone said you can come out to the middle of the desert and you're going to play a phenomenal golf course, you'd say it's not possible. But as these holes intertwine around in the canyon area, just wonderful vistas, huge changes in elevations. Really, it's just a fun adventure.
This one will play a little bit longer. It's up the hill to that green. Frank, this one's not looking good.
Yeah, it's certainly not down the fairway line, heading toward the rough.
You have to think he'll be happy with that, given that it looked like it was headed right for the rough.
Yeah, it looked like that was the only place it was going to finish. But, well, it's a little bit unexplainable. Let's see what he does from here now. Lucky break.
Might be. Could be. Needs a few more of those. That was a good birdie.
Yeah, this time, that one gets him in the top 10.
Now on to the par 4 7th hole. Is this a reachable par 4, Frank?
Distance-wise, you would think so, but the designer has done something to avoid that, and that's put all this water in front of the green. It would take a mammoth tee shot, and that's something like 300 yards through the air if you're going to try and even drive this green. Is the risk worth it? Well, if you're just playing with your friends, maybe it is. Otherwise, you just lay it up, just past those those bunkers on the right and the left. Get it down there on the flat. A little pitch you would think is simple, but because of the slope of this fairway, chances are you might not get a flat lie, and that's going to make that second shot that much harder.
Frank, not close, but from that lie, not bad.
Oh, that's excellent. Seriously, given the conditions, Rich.
Now this for birdie, came away with par in the previous round.
Just when you think you're going to make birdie, now have to really concentrate on this and at least make par.
And getting ready for the putt. Good work right there. He'll settle for par. Frank, the par 3/8 really is Wolf Creek in a nutshell. It's hard and it's really pretty.
It is, and it's really long too. Just under 250 yards off that back tee. Slight bit of elevation, but you can see from the tee, obviously, where you don't want to go and where you do go. If you're a little, well, tender of heart, then aim for the right side and avoid all that water down the left.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. Birdie here yesterday, trying to do it again today. So a long putt there and just didn't read it quite right.
It's no snack, though. More than a bonus on the scorecard, that.
Set to round out the front side here at Wolf Creek with a par 4.
Fun hole for the big hitter, too. They can really take advantage of this. The last fairway bunker down there on the right side is just over 300 yards to get over it. And longer hitters could nearly drive it in the green side bunker on the right. So just tee it up there. You're playing desert golf for a reason. Enjoy it. Just have a little flick in here. And chance, too, to have a little birdie at the end of your front 9.
The green is up above, and this will play at least a club longer. That will be a great look at birdie. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
The par 4 10th. What's the right way to attack this hole, Frank?
Rich, you've got to convince yourself there's more fairway down there than what it first looks. Because of that ridge on that right side, the desert there blocks your view off the tee. But this fairway is just as wide as every other fairway on the golf course. A good drive, sort of 280, 300 yard plus, will always take those bunkers down the left out of play. From there, that second shot, just be aware where the flag is. If they have it in that front or middle section, this is certainly a birdie hole. Anything on the green is going to be a very sort of makeable putt. Just be careful, though, when that flag is on the back right. That's the hard position because it brings that pot bunker into play.
That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
Been this way all day. Airtight, no mistakes, solid shot.
And yet another green in regulation.
Just 5 feet left. That's a nice confidence builder right there. You make those for par, and you keep things steady. Frank, what's a player feeling knowing they have one more round to go and they could have a chance at making a run and maybe win this thing?
No, it's a great feeling, Rich. At this point, really, it's just about whether you can handle the nerves. You know everybody up there is going to be feeling them.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live final round coverage of the Tiburon Championship. Hello again and welcome, Rich Lerner, alongside my friend and colleague Frank Nobilo. We're here in the state of Nevada getting set for what should be a wonderful day of golf. Wolf Creek Golf Club is the site for the action. And Frank, this really is the definition of desert golf. It is spectacular.
The green oasis, Rich, amongst this canyon area is just something to be seen, really. It's hard to imagine you can actually build a golf course like this. Elevated tees, huge changes in elevation, and you're sort of weaving your way around this magnificent sort of topography. And to be honest, I've never really seen a golf course like this. It's just an oasis. Amazing.
Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday. So one shot closer to the lead with that birdie. Here at the 15th hole here at Wolf Creek, bit of a breather here. Nice, short par 3. You don't want to miss this green.
No, that's the temptation there. If you try and bite off a little too much because it looks a little too easy, then a bogey here and you're in a bad mood all of a sudden at Wolf Creek.
That is another laser right at the flagstick. See if he can get something going here. 2 straight birdies. Wow, I thought that was in. Just a tap in to finish the hole. Frank, how does that par help his cause?
It certainly doesn't hurt it.
Now to the 16th hole, and Frank, another good scoring chance.
If you can avoid the confusion off the tee, it looks like the hole might be a dogleg, then is it a carry? It meanders from one way to the other, but really when you actually break the hole down, it's virtually straight ahead. Those 2 bunkers in the driving distance, they frame the hole nicely, so play it as a straightaway par 4. It should set up beautifully for just a little short iron and perhaps a birdie opportunity.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
See if you can get this one to drop here at the 16th for a birdie. Settles in over the putt. And with that birdie, moves to 3rd place. Now to the 17th, par 5 here at Wolf Creek Golf Club.
Yeah, dogleg left. Tee shot obviously has to be played short of that creek down there. It's still going to be a reachable hole, even though this hole's sort of around the 550, 560 mark. But because you've got to play short of that stream, it's going to leave a lengthy second shot, and you've got to get the distance right on the button. Second shot. This looks like it's going to find the target.
That was just a gutsy shot right there, and a good look at eagle coming up.
This is an awkward length.
Frank, a little too amped up trying to make eagle there?
Oh, well, you don't get the opportunity every day, Rich, so can't blame them for that. Birdie's the consolation prize.
Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Putt for par. He needs one. And he makes it for par. Now the closing hole here at Wolf Creek. Frank, what's ahead of us?
You could try and drive at this green, but there's too much trouble, really, Rich. Even though this hole's just over 300 yards, it's very ambitious to try and drive it across that water. Some might try. Most people try and hit a tee shot 240, 250 yard mark, and of course, you do the math, you're only going to have 60 or so.
Good news is, was able to retrieve the golf ball.
Yeah, on dry land, and can he carry it this time, though?
Third shot now after the last one found the deep blue.
Yeah, you can still minimise the damage here. It's only one bad shot that you got punished for.
Oh, just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
That'll put a wrap on our final round coverage for all of us at EA Sports. I'm Rich Lerner. We'll see you next time. EA Sports is proud to present PGA Tour coverage. Today it's live opening round coverage of the Mountain Shootout. Picking it up live down at the 10th. Nothing noteworthy here in the first round, Frank, but still plenty of golf to be played.
That's right, Rich. A little bit of a dry spell, but really not a lot of damage done.
Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
That's all he wanted to do there.
Yeah, it's touch. And when you think from that distance, chances of making are almost none. So to guarantee a two-putt, well done.
Still even par for the day. On the tee here at the 11th hole, 417-yard par 4. Is this a drive you like to hit, Frank?
It certainly is, Rich, but it's a little narrower than what your eye first sees. And the reason why, there's a tree sort of another 40, 50 yards down the right side past that bunker. So if you hog that right side, that tree can become a little bit of a problem for the second shot.
Frank, it makes the game easy when you play it from the fairway.
Especially when you play it from a lie like that.
Frank, our featured player, a bit wobbly of late. This is an important approach shot.
It is. Time to just hit the brakes, do a little reset. Things aren't completely lost yet. Start to get back to that positive frame of mind.
You can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable. That never deviated offline.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Tough game, Frank. You can hit 300-yard drives and miss 3-foot putts.
Yeah, there's the ecstasy, and that's the agony.
Just a couple of feet. Has his par. Frank, what are we looking at here at the par 412, 442 yards?
Players are really focused on that bunker down the left side. That's the one that has to be either laid up, which would be 286 yards off the tee, or sort of worked off. This could very well be a 3-wood off the tee. Just hit it straight at that left bunker. Got the measurement out there, Rich. Looks like 290 yards.
Well, Frank, certainly a chance to make a 3 here, but there's also a little bit of a risk.
Yeah, like a few of the greens on this golf course, if you just miss that target there, the ball has a tendency to run off in a different direction. Anything left of the flag here is liable to run towards the left. Could even kick into that bunker.
Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Eyeing this putt for a birdie. Needs a few more of those. That was a good birdie.
Yeah, this time, that one gets him in the top 10.
Well, this is a good hole right here. Par 3, 225-yard 13th. Frank, what do you think?
Well, it's called sulfur. Can't remember what element that is on a periodic table, but hardest thing here is not to figure that out, but figure out what club you're going to use. Just a fraction downhill, just over 200 yards. It does narrow up when they start to tick the flag in the back, but there's a nice fat target there, sort of those first 2/3 of the green.
He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole. That was a good run at it, Rich.
These putts keep the round together.
It doesn't go in, you got to add another scorecard.
And that's where the golf ball's just staring at you and mocking you and laughing at you.
You know deep down it's smiling too, don't you?
Clean this up with a tap. So with that, 1 over par. Back here at the par 4 14th, and we are ready to tee off. 442-yard hole, Frank.
It's called wampum. My Canadian's not that good, so I don't know what that means, but the way I decipher it, another little dog leg to the right with bunkers all over the place. It's sort of in the place where you'd like to hit the tee shot is exactly where that crop of, what is that, 5 bunkers down the left side. So you're going to have to somehow squeeze it just right of that. Very awkward tee shot.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. Midway through this back 9, could use this birdie here at the 14th. And getting ready for the putt. Comfortably inside the cut line, the young prodigy makes another birdie. Well, that wraps up another round here at Banff Springs. Frank, what caught your eye today?
Just the gorgeous scenery, Rich. Golf course not overly long, but not often we get north of the border in just an idyllic part of the world.
We saw plenty of great shots out on the course today, and we're looking forward to getting back to the action soon. So for all of us here at EA Sports, this is Rich Lerner, along with Frank Nobilo, saying, until next time. This is EA Sports. PGA Tour coverage coming up next. Today it's live second round coverage of the Mountain Shootout. Now to the second par 5 on this opening 9. Frank, this is a pretty long hole, 602 yards.
Well, it's called hoodoo. You know what hoodoo means? It means bad luck, actually, so you don't really want to be thinking about that on this tee shot. 602 yards, if you belt one off the tee, well, you might avoid the bad luck. Oh, that's got to be 300 yards, isn't it?
Nice position, short grass, second shot. All right, the approach shot is on the green, but he'll have a very testy putt coming up. This is a cross-country special. Well, that's not the way you wanted to start out the backside here.
Yeah, you can't afford from inside 10 feet. You feel like you have to make those, and I mean, they really sting when they miss.
Frank, we haven't seen a whole lot of that, but no doubt it feels good. Now to hole number 8. It's another par 3 with some water. Frank, only 150 yards. This is the shortest hole in the golf course.
But distance control is still very important here. If you can get the right distance, you could perhaps aim 10 or 15 feet left of the flag. You're only going to have a 10 or 15 foot putt. So just think of that. Water on the right there. Maybe just aim a little further to the left. You can still make birdie.
Now this for birdie came away with par in the previous round. Now at 2 under par for the tournament. Just love the variety here on the front side, Frank, coming off that short par 3 8th. Now we go to another par 5 to round out the side, 501 yards.
And the third par 5, interesting front 9 here. 3 par 5s, 3 par 3s, and 3 par 4s. This one not the longest par 5, but still reachable. This one you have to be a little bit careful though. This is probably the toughest driving hole on the front 9 with regard to par 5s.
No complaints there. In the fairway, down there about 290 yards.
Well, with a good shot here, Rich. This eagle on the cards, hole very reachable from where he is.
Don't get many opportunities like this. This is a good place to take advantage. That was just a gutsy shot right there, and a good look at eagle coming up. Getting set now over the putt. Well, that was just a lousy putt right there. No other way to say it. Shouldn't be a problem here. Oh my goodness, Frank, that is painful.
Oh yeah, that's the... You'd rather miss the hole at times, wouldn't you?
Nudge this one home, finish it up. Been a little too much of that, Frank, just sort of ho-hum pars. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports. And we are back on this beautiful day here at Banff Springs in the Canadian Rockies, set to kick off all the action on the back nine. The 10th begin with a par 3, Frank, 218 yards.
And I have no idea why this is called Little Bow, because over 200 yards, you really have to bow up with this tee shot here, that's for sure. Bending there, you need something that comes out of the gate very, very straight and with a decent height on it as well, if you want to land on that left side of the green and make it stop. I mean, this skill, and that was sublime.
Just good hands, coming out of the rough, able to manage the distance, and now in great position. Oh, man.
Just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Frank, this has been an absolute mess today and all week long.
You said it best.
So off the long par 3 10th, we are at the 11th hole, 417-yard par 4, Frank.
It looks like a straightaway par 4, Rich, but if anything, the hole actually bends to the left, and you really want to follow that natural contour of that. Just sort of draw it off those bunkers on the right, or just simply carry it over the ones on the left. But ideally, down the left side, it avoids that pine tree that's further down.
Right out of the center of the bat.
Did you hear that? Oh, that's fine.
Frank, what's so compelling about rivalries in sports is that athletes need each other if they're going to go to great heights. Joe Frazier needed Muhammad Ali to solidify his legend. Jack Nicklaus probably needed Arnold Palmer to go to a place that he had not been. And I think that's true across the board as we look at rivalries in sports.
I think it defines careers, Rich. It's not until those players retire that they realized how important it was to have that foe. You know, so often we're living in the present like we are now with Tiger Woods and Rory Mcilroy. And it's not for years to come that we'll realize the sport wouldn't have been the same with one without the other.
A makeable putt right here. He is currently sitting at 1 under par. And he makes it for par. Here at the 12th, par 4, 442. Not the longest, but not bad. 295 yards in the fairway. Will settle. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here.
And Frank, that steady play continues.
Rock solid. Excellent approach shot.
This one just requires a little bit of focus. Close. Couldn't ask for much more on that putt. Not a gimme, but well within his range. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all. A very quick exit, miscut. Not the only one there, but surprising.
The weekend now to regroup. Just didn't hit many good shots. EA Sports and the PGA of America are proud to present opening round coverage of the PGA Championship. Major championships are where the world's best golfers rise to the occasion, trying to etch their names into the record books. Today, we will see which golfer grabs the spotlight here at the PGA Championship. It is the season's final major championship here at Whistling Straits Scenic Golf Course, playing host to all the action. Heading out to the action now, we pick up with our featured golfer at hole number 10. Frank, nothing spectacular to this point in the first round. What does the player need to do just to kind of generate some momentum?
I actually think they're playing it right, Rich. It's just, you compared to the top of the leaderboard, you start to think, well, maybe they're struggling. But there's ebbs and flows in this game. At the moment, it's just sort of almost like a holding pattern. But it's time to change that.
Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. I mean, that's how the game is played, right there.
He's just making it look so easy. That birdie coming up, formality. Even par, currently.
Needs a few more of those. That was a good birdie.
Yeah, this time, that one gets him in the top 10.
Well, Frank, the 11th here at Whistling Straits is a monster par 5. They call it sandbox, but it is not exactly child's play, is it?
No, I can't actually count the number of bunkers on this hole. Plus, it's a dogleg to the right. 645 yards. I don't care whichever way you cut it down. That's going to be 3 good shots. Forces you to hit driver off this tee.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. And this shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards. Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
Frank, this is an important approach shot because our featured player was really good early, a little bit shaky of late. This is a point in time where you need to get it back.
Yeah, you almost need to stop. Just stand still for a second. Almost just flush it out, because at the moment you're starting to look right and left at the trouble. Let's get back to what worked. Let's start looking where we want the ball to go, where the flag is, and start going there.
I don't know what happened there, but he missed it badly. Well to the right. That is professional with a capital P right there.
That's stealing.
We're now at the 11th hole, and this is a huge par 5. 645 yards, Frank, that's a biggie.
And plus, this hole bends to the right, which sort of makes you think that you can hit it down the right side. But if you miss down the right, there's just a multitude of bunkers that'll swallow up that ball, and you're nearly guaranteed to make at least 6.
Well, it looks as though they're going to need to use all their strength to sort of hack it out of that rough, missing it off the tee here. You have to think he'll be happy with that, given that it looked like it was headed right for the rough.
Yeah, it looked like that was the only place it was going to finish, but, well, it's a little bit unexplainable. Let's see what he does from here now. Lucky break.
Came to the putt, excited to make birdie. Now, settle for par.
Yeah, little change in the attitude right now. You've let one go. You've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important this one goes in.
Now at 1 under for the round. Frank, here at the 13th, it's pretty obvious where the trouble is.
Yeah, all right, that's for sure, plus Lake Michigan there if you go even further right. But at 402 yards, don't have to hit driver down here. Even a 3-wood and a wedge would get you home here. So remember, fairway first, then set up the scoring chance.
Nicely played shot, about 310 yards down the fairway. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. Needs a pair of binoculars to see the hole. That one got away. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Stays at 1 under with that par. Now the par 4 14th, and Frank, this is not about brute strength, is it?
A bit of a head scratcher here. When you first look at it, you think you just pull out the driver, but it narrows up in the driving area. So really it's a layup off the tee, just a short iron in from there.
They'll be pretty happy with that 290-yard poke off the tee. Frank, with the drive off to the left side, what's the player looking at now?
Well, a blind second shot, so you've got to pick one of those mounds in the distance to really focus on a line here.
It should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Midway through this back nine, could use this birdie here at the 14th. Fairly long, 25-foot putt here. Pretty good effort right there. Shouldn't be a problem here. That's how you maintain momentum and make those putts for par. Don't forget, second round coverage coming your way tomorrow here on EA Sports for our entire crew. I'm Rich Lerner saying so long for now. EA Sports and the PGA of America are proud to present second round coverage of the PGA Championship. We're here at Whistling Straits in Kohler, Wisconsin for the PGA Championship. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports, set to bring you all of the championship action. Frank, what's in store for our golfers today under these major championship conditions?
It's a Pete Dye special, Rich. Bunkers, I've lost count of the number of bunkers at Whistling Straits, but already it's been the host of several PGA championships, so it's a test for the great players of the world. But really, you've got to tip your cap to the designer. He'll tell you that building Whistling Straits was a, quote, once-in-a-lifetime thing. To see Lake Michigan around the golf course, it looks just like it's not real. It looks like you're playing on the moon sometimes. It's an amazing venue. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
That is a beauty, a real beauty. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Frank, how much does that birdie help the cause?
Well, it doesn't look like much right now, Rich, just sneaking inside the top 20. But at the end of the day, that might be the one that turned the tide. I'm loving that balance.
Oh, this looks good.
Certainly is.
And that's going to stay on the fairway here at the second hole. And his second shot with par 5. You can see a little bit off balance on the tee, and that one is going to be in the rough. in the thick stuff.
Thick, it's brittle out there.
I'm thinking about 90 yards from here. So on the putting surface, and taking a good look now at this birdie putt here at the second. Now this for birdie came away with par in the previous round. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. So a tester from 4 feet. Has his par. Now to the first par 3 on this golf course. It's the third, about 188 yards.
Yeah, big green with lots of undulations, and it moves the ball from that right side towards the left, towards Lake Michigan. But club selection, important here.
Good chance at one. Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
Pretty good stroke right there, just to hit it through the break.
Well, it's that sort of distance. If it goes in, it's a bonus.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business.
Well, for such a strong man, weak putt.
Now I'll have to make this just to avoid making Michael Bublé. And drops it in. Now the stunning 188-yard par 3 third here at Whistling Straits.
Yeah, the green angles to the left. You have to be careful because it's well protected by those huge bunkers and dunes on the left.
That is massive off the tee.
Meters, yards, I don't care how you measure that. That's got to be what? 300 meters, 325 yards, something like that.
So a chance for birdie after another solid approach shot. Made par yesterday, this one for birdie. Well, at last, a birdie. Frank, you've played all over the world. How unique is this hole, the fifth?
I've never really seen anything quite like this. On one hand, it's an extremely long par 5, but then on the other hand, you have all these options that are available.
Always so nice, Frank, when that gleaming white golf ball is sitting up on those emerald fairways, the way this one is.
The game almost appears easy when one is playing their second shot from the middle of the fairway. And you quickly forget how difficult it can be. You look left or right, game becomes much harder.
Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
On the green, and a chance for birdie. Back-to-back birdies, we'll see. Made a good run at birdie. He'll have to focus now. Try to walk away with the par. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
Makeable putt right here, currently sitting at 1 under for the round. This has been an absolute mess today and all week long.
You said it best.
Hole number 6 and another scenic view off the tee. It's a 409-yard par 4.
Yeah, the hole is well bunkered around the 300-yard mark. Ideally, you want to have that tee shot just short of that. Then it's not too hard a second shot.
Always a little trickier. Club selection is key, playing downhill on this shot. Inside 20 feet, never bad.
Yeah, 18 feet to be exact. No, it's that sneaky distance. Well, we'll never know if that had gone in because it never made it.
Just a couple of feet. Good effort and good par putt. Frank, they gave us a great show today.
No, they certainly did. Course played well. You got what you deserved out there.
Some outstanding performances. And for our entire team, I'm Rich Lerner, saying so long for now. EA Sports and the PGA of America are proud to present third round coverage of the PGA Championship. Here it is once again, Whistling Straits in Kohler, Wisconsin. The best golfers from around the world have gathered to compete for the Wanamaker Trophy at the PGA Championship. And it sets up to be another great major. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports. And Frank, tell us a little bit about Whistling Straits.
It's a peep dive special, Rich, and the golf course borders Lake Michigan, so you have these wonderful vistas should you choose to look at that. But the course itself is almost like a links course, the way the holes roll around in amongst these sand dunes or bunkers. I've lost count of the number of bunkers. They're, I think, close to about 1,000 bunkers out there. But the holes themselves are a genuine test, and it will reward a lengthy play. We've seen that in the past champions there, but it's just a great test from the first hole to the 18th.
Early part of this second nine, a good approach shot. Now, pretty good chance for birdie. Par yesterday, now for birdie.
You'd like that one again?
Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knock it in for a par, and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect. But
been a little too much of that, Frank, just sort of ho-hum pars. Frank, the short par 3 12th, what are you looking to do?
well, you'd think it's a snack. Green straight in front of you, points a little bit to the right. but just getting it and keeping it on the green, it takes some doing. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Still some work to do here at the par 3, Frank.
Yeah, you'd think there with the size of that green, this green would be an easy one to hit, but that's irrelevant now. Let's see if he can get it up and down.
Frank, not close, but from that lie, not bad.
Oh, that's excellent. Seriously, given the conditions, Rich. Really. This is an awkward length.
That's a painful miss right there. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Not too bad, he gives one back. Frank, here at the 13th, a lot can happen.
Just a gentle dogleg to the right, or at least the hole moves to the right, plus the slope of the fairway. So you've got to aim left of center. Got to be careful here. Downhill, he's got to time it good because your weight's a little bit more on your front foot.
Should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. A birdie will send him to 1 under on the leaderboard. Frank, any major championship gives you a good mix of holes. We've had some long ones, and now this one just under 400 yards.
But it will punish you if you're offline. There's trouble left and the mounds and the bunkers on the right. So ideally, it's positional tee shot.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Excellent shot to within 10 feet. See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. This putt for birdie. Well, you're not going to make that putt all the time, but you'd like to at least get it to the hole.
If he keeps putting like that, he's going to be an announcer in no time.
He's made it. Ready to go here at the 15th tee, and by the looks of it, Frank, we should have brought the swimsuits and some sunscreen.
It's very picturesque, that's for sure, but don't get fooled by its beauty. This is an absolute beast at 503 yards and sets up a very, very tough finish to Whistling Straits.
He makes a great pass at the golf ball. It's powerful, but it's rhythmic at the same time. Wow, Frank, look at that one run out. Just blistered that tee shot.
Well, that has to be 325 if it's an inch.
little Sheba. Down. Didn't check, Frank.
Yeah, just not enough spin on that, really. I mean, that almost like took that first bounce and just ricocheted forward. Safely on the dance floor.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Those keep the round going, those par putts. Frank, that was quite a test at Whistling Straits.
Well, 7,800 yards is one of the longest courses you can play, but this golf course extracts every single ounce of game out of you.
Frank, it certainly was a challenge. For my partner Frank Nobilo and all of us here at EA Sports, we say so long for now from Whistling Straits. EA Sports and the PGA of America are proud to present final round coverage of the PGA Championship. Well, the best players have landed here in the middle of the country, and really in another world. There is no golf course quite like Whistling Straits. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports. And Frank, let's get it started here with the 10th hole.
Not very long at 391 yards. Some of the longer hitters can actually get very close to this green. But if you want to do that, you've got to flash it down the left side. That's a little dicey.
Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one. Good-looking shot right here. Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
So a long putt there and just didn't read it quite right. Well done. 645-yard par 5 11th. They call this hole the sandbox, and hopefully, Frank, you're not picking up the shovel here.
Yeah, I don't care who you are. If you're reaching this par 5 and 2, then you don't belong on this planet. Ooh, nice little bounce forward. Should be close to 300, 290.
And from the fairway for his second shot here. Frank, this is a huge par 5. How reachable is it?
Well, probably chances of getting home there, you're going to need something around the 340-yard mark off the tee. If you've done that, well, one thing to be aware of is that huge bunker, that huge deep bunker short left of this green.
Well, that is a ball-striking clinic right there. Another dazzling approach shot. Pretty close. Now this for birdie. Came away with par in the previous round. We haven't seen a whole lot of that, Frank, but that has to feel good. Now to the 12th, short little par 3.
Yeah, just a short iron in hand. You'd like to think it's a birdie opportunity. One of the biggest problems here, though, is putting. This green, anything other than flat.
Early part of this back 9 and a good approach shot. Now we'll have this for birdie. Getting set now over the putt. So early on the backside here at the 12th hole, missed opportunity. A makeable putt right here. He is currently sitting at 1 under par. Nothing wrong with that par putt. On to the 13th, and this par 4, Frank, they lovingly call cliffhanger. How do you deal with these 402 yards, Frank?
Really, you got to pick a spot down the left side. Even where the rough isn't really such a bad line. Keep it down there, let everything kick to the right, but you have to avoid missing right here.
In the fairway here at the 13th. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie.
Didn't fare too well on this hole yesterday. Made a bogey. Frank, the good players continue to play good golf, even if they're not winning or in the top 5.
Yeah, that position's starting to look a little brighter than what it was at the beginning of the day. Now in the top 25.
Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
Frank, with the drive off to the left side, what's the player looking at now?
Well, a blind second shot, so you've got to pick one of those mounds in the distance to really focus on the line here.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. That is an excellent play right there. The approach, giving him another good look. He really likes this hole. Made birdie yesterday. Can he do it again today? He'd settle for par here. So they'll tap in. No problems there.
Yeah, keeps the round going, keeps the momentum on his side.
Frank, lots of sand and beach in view here at the 15th.
Yeah, this starts a tremendous 4-hole run to the clubhouse. And this is going to require your best tee shot. Maybe a little fade off the tee would keep it away from those bunkers on the left and set up that second shot.
Well, those are good numbers right there. 320, 320 yards. Just crushed it in the fairway. That will be a great look at birdie. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Good birdie right there.
Yeah, this game, when you can't win, it's all about top 10s, top 20s. And currently, that's exactly where they stand.
Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
Officials are calling that one around 310 yards. Second from an excellent lie. On the green, short, but plenty of real estate between the ball and the hole. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Boy, that's a tough break with that miss. Boy, this could be a tough one right here, Frank.
It's a very long putt, Rich. Obviously, it's difficult, but he still has a shot to sink this one for birdie.
Starting to move now, Frank, on this leaderboard.
Certainly going all in the positive direction. He's in the middle of the pack, now top 15.
The 17th now at Whistling Straits. And if you have a club that travels 250 yards on a good line, bust it out now.
That's what you're going to need, and you're going to need to hit that smack bang out of the middle of the club and leave nothing behind.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Frank landed it on the green.
It was never going to stop.
No chance. Shot now from the rough. Frank, what's he facing?
Well, the lie first and foremost. If it's sitting down, then obviously you're not going to get a very good contact. Nothing wrong with coming up a little bit short of the green. Problem is turning one mistake into another.
How about that shot? From that lie to get it that close, tremendous effort. Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
Hoping to drop only one shot, this for bogey. Well, too bad, he gives one back. The final hole, the 18th, and the clubhouse in the distance. Frank, it's looking like home sweet home, isn't it?
Well, if you can hit the fairway here, that's one thing, but it still leaves an enormously long second shot.
That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards. Frank, this is money time. The approach shot here at 18.
Well, there's that carry over 7 Mile Creek. That's the biggest problem. So this long iron hit into this green, got to take plenty of club to make sure it finds its target.
Nice approach shot. He'll be happy with that. So a tester from 4 feet. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Well, that'll wrap up our coverage of the final round. This is Rich Lerner alongside Frank Novelo for EA Sports. We'll see you next week.